do we need it?
Bacon it.
Well, you do.
That's right. We are live and alive.
The alive is not convincing.
We're half alive, but still alive. This is Ari, the Data Queen, joined by analyst Hole Matt Muscardi, Hazelnut Rawless, and
Special guest Chantal Dunn. Yay! Intern Chantal is back.
No nickname?
Intern.
Intern Chantal.
No nickname.
On today's weekly wrap-up, we'll have Story of the Week, Good News of the Week,
we're back.
Asshole News of the Week, and Chantal has her own section.
Gen Z-iest of the week.
There we go. That's fun.
That's what that is. Are you Gen Z? Are you millennial? What are you?
I am definitely a millennial.
Yeah. Come on.
It's sad how well I fit the millennial description.
Ari's old now.
Damien, why don't you take it away?
Already?
Oh,
We're going
Story
right
of the
into
week.
it?
You're just going right into it.
You don't want to say
She's
hello to
ready
Chantal
for
or anything? Just
she
go
needs
right to
a
it.
candy bar and a nap.
Welcome.
That's what we're here.
All right, well-
Chantal's been at school and traveling the world and busy doing like real life stuff. Meanwhile, we're here.
I would say hello, Chantal, but we're in my segment now, technically, so I don't have the time to be personal or friendly. So,
Go ahead.
all right, I'm going to start off on a non-depressing story.
Is it really?
Yeah.
Okay. There are those things.
Chantal,
such things.
you're probably not aware of this, but I love when CEOs apologize for things, and especially when this one where he's deeply sorry. I love deeply sorry.
Yeah,
I love when
deeply.
an adverb comes before the apology. It's just the greatest. So I just thought I would pick something that wasn't doomsday. I mean, although it is sort of doomsday.
It is doomsday.
But compared to the other stories, it seems like a breath of fresh air. Crowdstrike, Windows IT outage, CEO deeply sorry for global chaos caused by Microsoft update, and warns fix may take some time to work. I'm already getting texts from bored friends in New York who have nothing to do today because I guess their work computers aren't working. And they should stop bothering me. I don't care.
My computer's not working.
Yeah, why?
So maybe
why,
Chantal, maybe
mine.
that's your problem too.
Yeah.
We
What
have
is-
apples.
Maybe. What is that?
I don't know. That's my
Yeah,
first story.
this I guess is fun, but I'm a little disappointed that he's not laser focused on his apology. He's just deeply sorry.
I'm going to take the time. Here's what his name is George Kurtz, okay? This is the guy. This is actually the CEO. If it was a woman, they would have put the woman's name in the headline, but since it's a man, they don't put the name in. I don't know how that works. But
Well, if it was a woman, then DEI would
right,
have done it.
they want to shame her. They'd say CEO Jane Fraser or something. So, but here's what George Kurtz should actually be sorry for. First of all, he controls 20% of CrowdStrike through because of his voting power. It's not based on his actual ownership of shares.
Ooh,
It's based on a rigged
fast.
system that he helped create, where his Class B shares are worth 10 votes per share. So George is already sort of part of the problem here. He should also be sorry for being a co-founder and a CEO and a director, despite already having 20% of voting power. According to our data, he has 64% of the influence. So really, he should just be sorry for himself.
Is there anything he's not sorry for?
He should also be sorry for picking a board chair. That's Gerard Watzinger, that was serving as an executive at McAfee while he was also an executive at McAfee. So that's the independent chair.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, the funny part about that sentence is independent.
Yeah.
But
No, that's what they call him. They call him independent.
But you're telling me that he wasn't CEO and founder and chair?
No,
Wow.
that's the
that's
miracle
pretty
here.
good.
He found a
That is a
friend
miracle.
from McAfee to be the independent chair, and they've served side by side for over a decade now.
You know, the other co-founder of this company also worked at McAfee.
Well,
and
there you go.
George Kurtz actually he did the kind of programming you do when you're in your living room and you're 12 years old and you're hacking into the Department of Defense.
I didn't have that kind of childhood.
or that's what you're trying to do. But then he went and he got his. He's a CPA. He got his degree in accounting, which does not seem to align with a global cybersecurity solution. Accounting.
I will say this: the chair got 26% votes against his reelection this year. So without
That's
his
a
buddy's share ownership, he might be gone. But
Ooh,
still there.
I like that.
He should also maybe apologize for
prediction.
wasting another board seat on the CrowdStrike board with the former chief marketing officer, Joanna Flower. I don't know why we need her. And
Yeah, well,
maybe
he
he should
wouldn't deeply
apologize
apologize for
for
that,
having
though.
a classified board, meaning that the shareholders don't even
Yes.
get to vote
That is-
annually on all the directors. They have to wait every
That is
3
correct.
years, blah, blah, blah,
Oh,
blah.
yeah.
And how about this? Maybe he should apologize for having a say on pay vote, not every year, but every 3 years, which means
No. He
which
should
means
not
that
apologize for
shareholders
that.
didn't even have a say over his almost $200 million in pay in 2023 and 2022. They couldn't vote on that. Maybe.
No, he shouldn't apologize for that. That's not his
Anyway,
problem.
What did he apologize
That's the
for?
guy deeply apologizing, George Kurtz.
I like deeply apologizing. That's a good story.
And as a segue, I'll say, and this is for all you Tesla owners, just to make you feel a little bit more ashamed of yourselves. Elon Musk, yes, is already blaming diversity initiatives for this outage. He's already
Really?
he's already
Finally, someone
tweeted about
said
it. Which
Someone
is
finally said it.
Which is okay since nothing goes wrong at his company. So I think he has authority here to make fun of people.
I saw that headline that he's blaming DEI, and now all I can think when he is like mocking someone and saying DEI is to blame, all I can think is giant wiper. Like that's now all I can think. Like he had to recall every single Cybertruck because of giant wiper failure. I like that.
Okay, let's move on to my next story. Unfortunately, it is about Elon Musk. Elon Musk says he'll pledge
come on.
40.
No, come on.
Sorry, but it does seem like a big deal. He says he'll pledge $45 million a month to a pro-Trump super PAC. That's potentially about $200 million donating to a man who hates electric vehicles. So take that, Tesla shareholders.
Yeah.
How about
take
that?
that right to the bank.
It's not even in Texas yet.
Yeah, they haven't even made it there
That's
yet.
true, right? I'm surprised he didn't already have something ready. Like, what are we waiting for?
No, they're currently in the airport waiting to get on the plane to get to
Okay.
Texas, but Crowdstrike knocked them out.
Well, I hope the airline they use does not have a DEI initiative. The third story of the week, speaking of horrible stuff, John Deere. Remember a couple weeks ago, Tractor Supply did this. Now it's John Deere. Is it called John Deere anymore? Deere. It's called Deere, right?
Deere and Company.
Deere
yeah.
and Company caves to conservative backlash, ends DEI efforts. Here's this horrible and creepy statement they made about rejecting DEI policies. They said, quote, that they're committed to our customers. But which customers are we talking about here? Just they're white customers, right? They're white male.
Yeah, yeah.
What kind of a statement
That's
is that?
what they meant.
I mean, they're trying to say that their customers are against diversity, equity, inclusion. I don't understand. How do they even know that?
They're committed to their customers who don't like black people.
I find that
That's
so
the
creepy they had to say that. I'm sorry.
Are they laying people off, or are they just not
Well,
publicizing what they do internally?
I don't know if it's just a coincidence or they're just assholes, but at the same time, they're also sending American jobs to Mexico. So,
Yeah.
there you go.
You know, Mexico
Wow.
is full of people of color. Are they committed to them?
a little bit of
Well,
it, isn't
no,
it?
the
Little awkward.
DEI was keeping those jobs in the U.S.
Oh, is that the way it was
Yes.
working?
Interesting.
Oh.
So they got rid of the
I'm
DEI.
so
It
confused
is
by
confusing.
what DEI has been doing. I don't
Congratulations, dear. And finally, this week was Prime. What do they call it? Prime Day, even though Prime Day is now 2 days.
Prime
know.
Tuesday.
Prime month.
I think it's a record $14 billion they made on selling nonsense.
Holy moly.
This headline caught my attention. Nearly half of Amazon warehouse workers get injured in the Prime Day rush. How is this? I mean, how is this? How do they let this happen? I don't understand this. Why is this okay? I don't get this part of it. Why?
They
Why? Ari, why?
The government should be able to tax Prime Day differently.
Nearly half get injured. Half.
That's a lot.
It's bonkers to me. All right, those are my
That's
four.
half of all workers. And what do we consider an injury? Does it like a paper cut, like from the boxes
Well,
that
that
they
I
have to
don't know.
move, or
That
is
I
this
don't know.
like?
Well, that's an injury. Yeah, I don't know.
I feel like that's not reportable.
A paper cut's
You
not
don't think
reportable?
so?
I feel like
Paper
it's
cuts.
probably, back stuff and, wrong equipment use and stuff like
What
that.
if it's a
Which
paper cut in your eye, right in your eyeball, right in the middle of your eyeball?
Well, have you ever seen the show Alone? It's on
No.
Netflix. It's like the show where people they send survivalists with
Oh.
3 matchsticks and a can of beans, and they drop them in the center of Canada, and they're like, survive as long as you can. The winner gets 500,000, but they have to do every single episode is basically someone eating something that's contaminated and getting sick,
I wanna know where this is going.
or
Where's this going?
injuring themselves.
Yeah.
There was an episode where a guy basically gave himself a paper cut, it was like a tiny cut, and it's
That's a great tangent.
infected and
Oh, yeah.
gross
His
and
arm fell
terrible.
off.
He could
Fleas
get
probably
sepsis.
go
So
there.
Maybe you're wrong,
So it's-
Chantal.
My mom almost
Maybe
died from a paper cut in 2020.
What? Who?
On her finger.
What?
Who did?
See,
My mom.
There's something wrong with your mother.
Oh my goodness.
See, this is.
I hope she's listening.
Look,
Uh-huh.
Stop.
it's these jobs can be dangerous. That's all I'm saying.
Those are my 4
All right,
stories.
So your 4 stories here are CrowdStrike, but not CrowdStrike going the massive global IT outage.
Yeah.
It is the apology.
The deeply
That's
sorry
actually
CEO.
your
Deeply
story.
sorry.
This deeply sorry
Deeply.
CEO.
Yeah.
Musk spending all his money on Trump super PAC. John Deere caving to conservatives, and Prime Day
Hurting everybody.
injuries.
Yeah.
The Prime Day injury one, that's not new. We know
No,
it.
it's
happened
not
this
new.
week.
It's not like a story of this.
I
It's true.
think
That's true.
the story of the week is definitely Elon Musk saying he'll give $45 million a month
It's a shocking
to
total there.
pro-Trump super PAC.
And remember, Tesla shareholders just voted. They're trying to re-ratify his pay. So basically, I guess they're just funneling money
They
to
paid.
They're funding
Trump
it.
super
Yes.
PACs now. Yeah.
They are funding it.
Yeah.
That's
So have
that is
fun
actually key.
And again, anyone listening who drives a Tesla, have fun with that today. Have fun going to the
So
supermarket in
it's-
your dumb Tesla.
So Ari's vote
That's my vote.
is for Musk Trump wedding. Chantal, who are you voting for?
I'm going to vote for the CrowdStrike.
Yes.
Yeah.
Deeply sorry.
I think
Global
that's
chaos.
correct.
Ari, I mean,
Wow.
global chaos. That's bigger than your dumb Musk story.
And isn't this
No
AI
way.
related?
Isn't it what?
Is it
AI related?
Ooh,
So I saw
didn't
another
know that.
headline on our headline spreadsheet about George Kurtz and Microsoft AI initiatives.
That I don't know.
Oh.
I don't know that. I know it wasn't. It's not a cyber.
Might be misinformation.
No, it could be. I know it's not a cyber attack. That's all I really know. I think they were updating.
Yeah, they came out quickly and said
They were
this is not a
updating
cyber
something,
attack.
and maybe AI was updating something. I have no idea, honestly.
I am also as much as I want to go with Musk Trump, I can't because
Okay.
I actually I think the fact that a dual class semi dictator, because he doesn't have full control, but it's considered a controlled company
Yeah.
because between him and the private equity firm that
Excel.
invested in him,
Yeah, Excel.
they own over 30% of the 35% of the voting power. But I think every time one of these things happens, you should be asking yourself, why do we allow like a single dude to make all the decisions? Why is this okay? Because this is what happens. There's no accountability for that
Exactly.
guy. You can't get
How
rid
is
of him.
it okay to donate $45 million a month
Wait,
to a super
wait,
PAC?
wait.
mean,
you're off
that's
you're on a different
insane.
path
Yeah,
now.
she's going somewhere else. Yeah, she just.
Matt, it might be okay with me if the amount of shares you owned were a majority of the shares, but not when you rig the system and your
But then you're
shares
not
are
a
worth 10
public company.
votes per share. That's nonsense.
Can
to
we
me.
stop calling any of the controlled companies public companies? Because the only thing you can do as an investor is buy the shares, and it's a gamble. It's a bet. And I think it's not public. It's a private company you're betting on. It's like going to horse races. Like, I don't own the horse. I'm just betting. I don't know anything.
You lost me on the horse race. What's your vote? You going
My
global
vote
chaos?
is for
All right, that's the story. of the week.
Wrong.
CrowdStrike.
Sorry,
CrowdStrike.
Ari.
Yeah,
Wrong.
that's the story of the week, and it's the correct story
That's
of the
a
week.
wrong. Let's move on to mine.
Oh,
Yeah.
you want to move on?
Let's
Oh,
feel
here we
good.
go.
Let's feel good.
I'm going to make you feel good with my
I'm skeptical.
goodly
You make us feel good. Skeptical.
of which the first story is Amazon,
Oh,
the one that's injuring half its warehouse workers during their 2-day shopping
yeah.
festival. Amazon hits 100% renewable energy goal.
All right. Well,
That's pretty good. They announced earlier this week, or maybe it was last week, that they hit this goal 7 years ahead of their initial target.
That actually makes me sad.
why?
They have spent a lot of money investing in renewable energy, purchasing renewable energy, funding projects that lead to renewable energy and emerging technologies. So I think they're showing the rest of the big companies what to do.
Well, what about this headline from Fast Company today that says Amazon Prime Day is a festival of consumption and it's terrible for the environment? How does that play?
Ooh.
Yeah.
Well, so yeah, none of that renewable energy goal includes driving your stupid package to your stupid
What are you
house.
talking about? How does it not?
It's all it's powering global operations, but the cars are not all electric. So
not to mention that I don't think they even own all their infrastructure. Do they own? Aren't a lot of those
the last
drivers
mile they've increasingly owned because they couldn't find anybody to actually do it well. But like occasionally, and I don't know if you've had this happen. Occasionally, like a guy in a car will drive up to our house and drop off a package.
I don't want him coming
it's
anymore.
It's really confusing. Like I don't know where that guy's from or
I don't
how
like
he
any
got the
guys in
package.
cars. They creep me out.
It's really awkward. I don't know if this is good. It's good, and also
does that make you feel good,
uncomfortable.
Chantal, when you hear that Amazon hits its renewable energy goal? How's the Gen Z?
It does make me feel like it's just another greenwashing story
Ooh.
where they're saying in these specific areas. Yeah.
Yeah, we need a
That's
bigger
like
picture.
my school is trying to be carbon neutral, and they're doing things like trying to not plant trees and call those carbon sinks. But like a lot of places will find little sneaky ways that they can say that they're carbon neutral or completely renewable without
That's true,
actually
which is why
including
it's
everything.
important to know how many billions of dollars they've spent on this. And I don't have that number.
And can I say this to your school's credit, Chantal? They do not run a Prime Day, right? They don't have a global sale.
The school does
school
not
No, they're not
sell
injuring
itself.
half of the people involved with their operations. They're not.
They do make shitty grilled cheese sandwiches, though.
All right. Speaking of billions of dollars.
And grilled
Come
cheese.
on Wednesday, then say your piece.
My other good story. Michael Bloomberg donates $1 billion to provide free tuition to future doctors at Johns Hopkins.
Ooh, I like that.
I mean,
Right? Med school will be
I'm
free
mixed
if
on
your
this. I feel
family
mixed.
earns less than $300,000. And there's also money for students in nursing school and public health.
that I'm
I
more
like
into.
begging a billionaire to make more doctors.
Why?
I like that.
Why does the headline exclude the nursing school and why are we focusing on the doctors?
Oh, stop.
Just saying.
Because we need more doctors and med school debt.
I'm sort of okay with that one. I don't. Why does Michael Bloomberg have $1 billion laying around to donate? I don't really get that part of it.
Lots of questions.
It's what he did with it that you're agreeing with.
Yeah.
But finally,
Yes.
from a week filled with a lot of good stories.
Ooh,
Yeah.
Comes the
that
last
was a
It's been a
lot.
fun week.
Good story I picked. Pick up litter and get free stuff in Copenhagen this summer through eco-conscious rewards program.
Wait, is the litter
You love
the
it.
litter itself is free? You mean if you pick it up?
There's something about a rewards program that Ari cannot.
I love it too.
Like
I love a
It's like
rewards
if there's a
program.
little star involved, if
Oh,
you
yeah.
can, if you
I
can
love it.
collect little badges as
Double
you go.
star days at Starbucks, you know. I'm
Ari
going.
is all in on everything
me
that
too.
looks rewardy.
Anyway, but Copenhagen, they have a list
Free
of actions
lunch.
you can do. Yeah, and you can get free lunch, a free cup of coffee, or
I'm so in on
kayak
this.
tour,
Ooh.
or a free entrance to a museum, and you can participate
that.
in different sustainable
this.
activities like biking or taking zero emissions public transport instead of driving, or picking up litter. Like,
Do you think
come on.
they'll use AI to determine if I just brought my trash in from my home?
Yeah, how do they figure that out? Like,
Damien will travel with his
I'm-
own litter to get the free stuff.
I love this so much. I mean, this should be in every city across the globe.
Exactly.
I mean, this is just great.
what is the lunch that they're giving?
I don't
for free?
care. I'll
What is
take
it?
it.
Well,
It's
I'm not sure
it's a
that
salted
Copenhagen's
fish.
known for their food.
If it's like a grilled cheese from
No.
Chantal's school, I'm not in.
It's
It's a
salted
Danish
fish head.
pastry.
It's just a salted fish head. I'm out. All right.
All right,
So your
let me hear your votes.
Your three option
Oh,
is
this is
Amazon
easy.
hits
This one's
its
easy.
renewable energy goal 7 years early.
That's amazing for the planet.
Michael Bloomberg gives $1 billion free tuition for future doctors, noting that those doctors, the families have to earn less than $300,000 a year.
Which is pretty good.
$300,000 is a lot of money.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And picking up litter gets you free stuff in Copenhagen, including a cup of coffee.
Look, I'm going to go first. That's easily my vote.
Yeah, well, I mean, that was
right.
gonna.
That was obvious.
Chantal, it's
I mean,
your
she
vote.
put that one in for me.
That was pandering.
I said Copenhagen, which is in Denmark and not France.
Yeah.
Right?
I don't care. It's all good.
I want to go next. I'll have to say Bloomberg.
Oh.
Ooh, see,
a
the student
tie.
recognizes the value
Yeah,
of
she's
free
probably
tuition.
trying to get a job with Bloomberg or something.
Yeah, if he's listening in,
Yeah.
please donate.
He's listening. He's listening.
Oh man,
What do you think, Matt?
You know what?
Make a tie.
Definitely Amazon.
Make a tie.
I don't. I'm gonna go with the one that nobody wants to go with. I'm gonna go with Amazon
Yes.
just to make it a tie.
Yes.
I'm ready.
So that Ari has to pick
I'm ready.
which one's actually good.
It is definitely the 100% renewable energy goals.
Wow,
Really? Wow.
I was right.
All right.
I
Yep.
was right.
Kind of surprised by that.
Are you kidding? It's not a pledge. It's like, look,
No, I
we
know,
actually
I
did it.
know. I like Chantal said though. I feel like there's a bigger picture we need to be understanding here. But they made a pledge, right, by 2030. They hit in 2023. Like I can support that. It's fine.
Every single company that makes
yeah.
a pledge magically either hits its 10 years early
Yeah.
or it just disappears into the
disappears,
ether and they
yeah.
never mention it again. It's like there's no in between.
It's
But that
something,
does
it's
bring
something.
us to our segment of the week, I would say.
Yeah.
Right? Chantal's segment.
Wait. Why does she get segment of the week?
Because her segment's going to be better than ours.
Okay.
Because she's Gen Z.
It's Gen Z-iest of the week.
That's why it's the best segment.
Am I pronouncing that right to Gen Zers? Is that pronounced correctly? It was Gen Z-iest?
Yeah. When you consult the dictionary, that's exactly how it's said.
That's what it says? Okay.
Yeah, so my first headline of the week is a Wired headline about our favorite court, the U.S. Supreme Court,
Oh, no, not my favorite court.
Liar.
which is the U.S. Supreme Court has handed big tech a big gift.
Oh no.
So related to a lot of things in the business world, as everyone knows, they overturned a lot of things recently, including the Chevron doctrine, which means that federal agencies who used to have the interpretation power of the laws and policies that they made will now have to defer to lower courts to decide how things actually get interpreted. So it's taking away a lot of power from the EPA, but there's a two kind of double-edged sword to this.
I don't like a double-edged sword.
Where, well, it might work in our favor in the sense of if you're anti-Trump and Trump is the new president and he fills a bunch of his, I know, just a hypothetical, if he fills a bunch of his, administration with kind of cronies who are anti-environment,
Yeah.
the courts on a lower level can
She
say
said if.
through your interpretation.
Right.
Ooh.
Yeah, I'm holding out on the if
Yeah.
right now.
Okay, so what you're saying is that if we're lucky enough to live in, say, New England, we won't have to listen to their nonsense. Is that what you're saying? Like if we live in the right jurisdiction.
But if every
Yeah.
single lawsuit is brought in, say,
Texas, you're
then
screwed.
we're pretty much screwed.
Yeah.
Texas and Florida, for instance.
Right.
Pretty much. Yeah. I mean, it is the double-edged sword. It's gutting a lot of things and it's overturning a lot of prior precedents. And 3 cases right now that are kind of hot topics are Meta, which is filing a lawsuit against the FTC about how it wants to collect and profit off of minors' data, which was previously ruled unconstitutional.
Jeez,
Yeah.
Wonderful.
And back to Musk, SpaceX filed a lawsuit alleging that the National Labor Relations Board was wrong for accusing the company of illegally firing workers that criticized Musk. So
Okay.
once again, and then the net neutrality thing, which is a whole interesting concept of, of protecting consumer protection principles, allowing, streaming services to not defer some types of better treatment to some people versus others. That was something that I feel like a lot of conservatives make a big hoo-ha about, feeling silenced on the web.
Don't be dirty on this show. Hoo-ha's no place on this show.
Wrong thing. But it was introduced under Obama, rolled back under Trump, and reintroduced under Biden. Now can be rolled back again. So basically, you're allowed to discriminate on the streaming services.
depressing.
again.
Yeah, I don't
I'm confused by all this.
feel good about any
well,
of
she's
it.
not,
per
but she's not
se.
presenting stories for you to feel good.
I know.
This is
I
why
know.
Gen Z is so angsty.
Well, it says the millennial to the Gen Z. But I like talking about the Chevron doctrine as not about Chevron. It's about 700 other companies I hate. That does expand the net of uncomfortableness that I have.
But it all sounds like, correct me if I'm wrong, Chantal, we're chipping away at federal authority. Is that the whole goal here? Which I don't like that. And also what you're saying basically is 160 years later, we're basically still fighting the Civil War. Is that what we're doing? We're still battling states' rights.
Well, when you combine it with the DEI thing, then it actually might literally be that. Yeah.
All right, what else?
Oh,
Next one is a lot better.
that's a fun one, Chantal. I love talking about the current Supreme Court.
Yeah, I know. I had to throw that in there. But in better news, 7-Eleven might be receiving some serious upgrades.
Oh.
Ari's all in on this. That's all you had to do. It's done. Ari just
What
voted.
kind of upgrades?
Yeah, well, I want to hear this.
So Japanese 7-Elevens are known for their snacks, and they're coming to the U.S. particularly.
Isn't that where you ate half the time you were in Japan?
So when I was in
What?
Japan,
Don't admit that out loud.
no, in Japan it's like their versions of 7-Elevens. Like that's where you go to get.
That's the good news.
Like you get food there. In fact, my youngest
You mean like
daughter
grocery store
would
shopping?
only eat Fammy chicken. That's
Okay.
all she would eat. It was like the chicken at the Family Mart that was right below where we stayed.
Yeah, someone who just came back from Japan, actually, I have to say that 7-Eleven food is really good there.
Oh, God.
And
Yes,
7-Eleven in
that's
the United
correct.
States.
You two Philistines.
In the U.S., we're only really known for our Slurpees and stuff like that,
Right.
and slushies.
Damien wants to go pick up litter to get a free cup of coffee,
Yes.
but would not go into a
Absolutely.
7-Eleven and get a fucking fish head. In Denmark.
Well, I thought that
Come on.
Damien said he'd take his own trash to get
I
the
would.
free cup.
That's
that's
true. He would
Yeah.
He'll
cheat
take
the
his
system.
own 7-Eleven
Yeah,
trash.
True.
Yeah.
All right, I take it back.
So that might be up on the horizon for the U.S. in general.
I just like that.
7-Eleven is dead. Long live 7-Eleven was the concluding statement of the article, and our 7-Elevens get replaced with other 7-Elevens.
I just like that you're excited that you. So you're saying, Chantal, that you and your generation is excited by 7-Eleven,
Yeah,
basically,
that's
right?
literally
I like
what
that.
I was gonna say.
yeah.
I was like,
this bodes well for our future.
like Chantal's like hanging out with her friends, and they're talking about the Supreme Court Chevron doctrine and how it's destroying federal power
Yep.
to regulate. And 7-Eleven's gonna have awesome snacks
Yes,
soon.
you get better.
Those two things are that juxtaposition's awesome.
Everyone needs access to some really good snacks. I think that Japanese 7-Elevens provide that.
Right,
So
and Chantal,
Deserts.
it's true. Americans they don't have enough access to really good snacks. We're deprived here in America.
we're deprived. And it's also related to, the U.S. is basically dependent, their 7-Elevens, on gas prices and tobacco sales.
Right.
And the Japanese 7-Elevens are dependent on really good frozen food.
Okay,
So,
all right.
Wow.
I'm all for switching the economy to go from tobacco and gas to frozen food.
Maybe that's what we need to do. Open up a 7-Eleven.
Us as a
future?
company?
Yeah, at the company.
Yep.
Yeah.
Matt can
Can
cook. He
rebrand
cooks
it.
for half the block anyway.
Ari's just really hungry.
Yeah, I am too.
That's all.
Actually, yeah.
That's all.
And my last one relates to meme stocks.
Oh,
so,
this sounds very
the
Gen
whole-
Z. Yeah, I like this.
Yeah. Okay. Now we're talking.
Exactly.
Yeah. It's-
Like all my high school classmates participated in the whole GameStop thing. There
Really?
are two headlines here.
They did?
Oh yeah.
Oh, okay. So are they all
Totally.
rich now, or did they screw it up? Did they?
They put in like $100, came out with 300.
Okay,
So
well,
that's $200.
That gets you a lot at 7-Eleven.
That's
That's
there
true.
you go.
Goes
7-Eleven.
far.
Not in Tokyo.
That's
though.
why we care.
Yeah. Even more in Tokyo. The dollar's great right now. But the two meme stock articles are GameStop stock drops after CEO posts on X. The meme roller coaster continues.
Okay.
So that was looking like a little bit of a downfall for Ryan Cohen. who's looking for like mobile app developers in Dallas and says that no college degree is necessary to apply.
Okay, so this is
Thinking
why
that might be interesting.
So this is why you think it dropped though, because of that post.
That's I think the insinuation.
This is the part of the show where Chantal announces that she's dropping out of college.
Oh, good.
And,
If Bloomberg can't come through, then I'm dropping out of
There you
college.
go.
And
Yeah,
working on GameStop.
I hope your mom is listening, because every time I talk to Chantal, I suggest that she do it. She drop out of college. So finally, good.
That's
great.
That's
My
good advice.
yeah.
That's good mentoring.
Yes.
But in a kind of raising the whole GameStop connection, Chewy, a different company, shares short-lived rally. Chewy shares staged short-lived rally as filing reveals Roaring Kitty takes stake.
Right.
So basically, Chewy, the like dog food company,
Super popular with young people.
Yeah.
They rose 15% on Monday. After a filing showed Keith Gill, which is who's also known as Roaring Kitty, and who is the guy who kind of manufactured the whole GameStop thing, had picked up a 6.6% stake in the pet products.
Well, and Ryan Cohen, if I'm correct,
Chewy.
right? He founded Chewy.
Yes.
Yeah, right.
That's the through line there. So Keith Gill, or Roaring Kitty, is kind of investing all over.
No.
Couldn't tell you. He hasn't disclosed that information, but he has, basically gained a stake worth about $245 million in this company.
In Chewy.
So, in Chewy alone.
Now, what is your
million.
perspective on all this, Chantal? Are you a degenerate GameStopper meme person, or why did you choose this story?
I personally have never even opened Reddit, so
I don't believe that. I don't believe that.
Correct. That's probably correct.
I've opened it on Safari, but I've never opened the app, and I've never gone beyond my specific search that always somehow happens to pop up on Reddit first.
Right.
But I feel like it's interesting because I feel like Roaring Kitty has this kind of whole like alternative like persona of this guy fighting Wall Street with the whole GameStop thing, and it's kind of funny to see where he goes next and where people are kind of going next with their random investments.
With $245 million.
Yeah.
I mean, he's a random guy fighting the system who now has $245 million to invest.
And who follows around Ryan Cohen, essentially, right? What does he do? Anything that's not attached to
Ryan
Cohen?
Cohen left Chewy, didn't he? He's
probably
now,
still has an ownership stake.
I'm sure he's got a stake.
But he bought a ton of shares of GameStop, right?
Cohen is the CEO of GameStop now.
He is. I didn't realize he was.
Interesting.
Yeah, they're just swapping
That's why they're
around.
doing so well. Yeah.
Not sure if it's just this emotional connection to GameStop that, is now translating into another emotional connection to pets, and that whole corporation in general's influence. But I think it's funny how, it seems like a lot of people my age kind of put their money kind of where they want things to go to. And so it'll be interesting to see if more people follow him.
I think this is the most revealing segment we've ever had, because Chantal went from one of the more depressing things that you cannot control, which is the removal of the Chevron doctrine, the end of sort of
Control by
federal
voting.
regulation and controls of things that we want, to let's eat our feelings at 7-Eleven and gamble the money we have because we have no future
That's true.
prospects. It's like it does sum up nicely how an entire generation
The
likely
current
feels.
pulse.
Yeah.
I will say
Alternatively,
this. Go ahead.
My alternative is it's all take down the system. Like, taking down regulations does suck, but if it's undermining administration where we might have a fascist administration, then maybe that's not a bad thing. 7-Eleven down to gasoline and tobacco. I hate both of those things.
Look at you.
And meme stocks down with Wall Street.
Wow. Take down the system. Wow. That's a good reframing right there.
That should be a good list.
Are we voting on these? Are we?
We're voting on
Okay.
these. What is the Gen Z-iest? This is, you're
I'll go
specifically
first. Yeah, I
trying
wanna
to
hear
target
Ari.
which one is the most Gen Z relatable of
Ari's
the week
closer to her
for a bunch of
generation.
non-Gen Z people.
For some reason, I can just picture all of Gen Z congregating at 7-Eleven
No.
to take down
Yeah.
the
I
system.
don't believe that.
All right, that's a solid vote.
That's
Damien,
a weird.
what's your vote?
It's weird because I feel like our generation, Gen X, are the 7-Eleven people. Weren't we the ones accused of just like hanging out in front of 7-Eleven?
We were the ones who were smoking the cigarette
You're the
after
reason.
while
There was nothing
filling
else to
up our
do. There was no
car, and
internet.
There was nothing
you just
else
stood
to do.
there. Yeah.
You're the reason why they have no loitering signs.
Yeah,
Probably,
we were
actually.
making phone calls on the pay phones and telling people, I'm at the 7-Eleven, come pick me up.
I don't understand the 7-Eleven thing. I've never been to Japan, so maybe that's why I don't understand it. I don't know what you guys are
So
talking about. I think you're
uncultured.
idiotic, so I'm going to skip over that one. Roaring Kitty. I don't think I actually care about Roaring Kitty unless he's a fan of the show and wants to become
He
involved
is.
with us and use our data to help. In that case, I'm a huge fan of Roaring Kitty.
Yeah.
But I'm going to
Absolutely.
vote for. I just like hearing young people get sad about the Chevron doctrine because that's what I'm sad about too. So I'm going to vote for that one.
I'm going to make Chantal break the tie because I'm going to pick the obvious Gen Z one, which is the Gen
stocks.
Zers who are betting on meme stocks, which is still a thing. 2020, should we call it a meme if it's been 4 years and we're doing the same thing? I would call it a style of investing in which you're looking at companies.
You're describing
And
Tesla.
you just have a totally different view of capital markets than every fuckface in a salmon-colored shirt and khakis.
Talk about me.
Walking into their Boston offices.
Ooh. Ouch.
So I'm gonna go
Shots
with
fired.
meme stocks. So Chantal,
Gotta
break
break
the
the tie.
Tell us what Gen Z really thinks.
You know, I'm gonna have to go with the meme stocks in this one too.
Yeah, that is correct. I got it right.
I think it's the most random story. And I think it's crazy that some guy who basically just posted a really successful meme once on Reddit was able to gain millions of followers and then, gain a whole army of people who would follow his stock choices. So that's still in 2024, years later, they're able to change how the stock market
Maybe
works.
that gives us hope, Matt.
They should
No, it
buy our
doesn't.
data.
But Keith, I know you're a listener of the show, Keith Gill. We have a plan. We're going to do meme votes. Let's vote some directors out. Let's go
Yep.
do that. Do that with us.
We could start with Chewy and
use your
GameStop.
followers. Yeah, just take over the company with some voting. Wait, does that mean it's my turn?
Yeah, segue into yourself.
I don't know. You're the host.
Assholiest of the week.
There it is. I'm waiting to get segued. All right. Here's your data for this week.
I'm taking my headphones off.
32 directors that sit on 66 board seats for 32 directors.
Okay.
They sit on 37 company boards, nearly all of which have DEI targets or efforts that have been disclosed.
Okay.
And these are Damien's headlines. Tractor Supply's customers cheer as it dumps ESG, says survey.
I don't believe that.
Microsoft reportedly fires DEI team, becoming the latest company to ditch woke policy. And John Deere cuts woke programs, moves jobs to Mexico. Really the asshole here to me is effectively the boards of these companies. They must approve your company. They had to Tractor Supply put out an 8K with their statement saying that they were not going to do DEI, not report to Human Rights Watch. They were not going to. They were going to
Essentially
scrub
a
their
board
carbon
level
targets,
decision.
scrub their DEI targets. That's a board level decision, and it got me wondering if the board members would have approved this at Tractor Supply. Wouldn't they approve it everywhere they are? And they're on 37 different company boards.
Oh, maybe they're the ones that are
across
going
these
to infect
not just
other
Tractor
people.
Supply, it's Tractor, Deere, and Microsoft board members who are on 37 company boards.
I mean,
here's a smattering of the hypocrites.
Pretty
Okay,
far reach.
Not to be judgmental, but the Tractor Supply and Deere, that doesn't surprise me. The Microsoft thing is concerning. I'm surprised
the
by that one.
Microsoft it feels like a big deal. Although they didn't scrub their targets,
They're
they just
firing
fired
their
their
team?
team.
Yeah,
That feels like when Tesla fires its supercharger team, but still is going to build chargers, right? Like that just seems right. But here's a smattering of the hypocrites that I'm talking about. Hal Lawton is the CEO of Tractor Supply, but he also sits on the Sealed Air board.
Yeah.
And this is from Sealed Air's disclosure. Sealed Air offers unconscious bias training.
Wow.
They have a DEI committee.
Really?
And they have a focus and targets on increasing diversity and leadership.
Sealed Air does.
Sealed Air does. They set all of these companies, the thing they have in common is they all set DEI policies in 2020.
Right.
Like when
Post
George
Floyd,
Floyd happened,
yeah.
they all set these policies. So Hal Lawton, do you think he's showing up to the Sealed Air board meetings being like, oh no, you guys should keep your policy for sure. Like, you keep your targets.
Well,
that's a great idea.
You know, I don't know, because the trend before the Microsoft story, the trend would be that if the customers were perceived to be in like MAGA counties, meaning that I guess they perceived them to be racist, that they'd be angry with these policies. So let's get rid of them before the backlash happens, a la Bud Light. But is there a Sealed Air customer community? Like who buys?
somewhere.
Who are they? What is Sealed
they sell
Air?
like
What is that?
industrial gases.
Okay.
All right, I'll give you another
Are
one.
they
all
known
right?
racists?
How about Ricardo Cardenas?
Okay.
He's on the Tractor Supply board. He's also on the Darden Restaurant board.
Oh, that doesn't sound good.
definitely.
Darden
sounds
restaurants
unhealthy.
are
Definitely.
Olive Garden,
Ugh.
Longhorn Steakhouse,
Oh, for sure.
Ruth Chris's, another steakhouse, Yard House Capitol Grill, another
Never
steakhouse,
heard of
Cheddar's Scratch Kitchen, Bahama Breeze,
Are you just
Eddie
making
V's.
up words? Like, what are you doing?
I know. This is right for their,
These are
their
actual
website.
restaurants?
This is
These are restaurants.
Never
There's
heard
a
of them.
lot of unwoke steak in
Yeah.
there, is what I'm
Yeah.
saying. This is like a lot of cows. But at Darden, here's what they put on their website. Quote, we prioritize our inclusion and diversity efforts not just because it's the right thing to do, but because it makes us better. They have set DEI targets. They've done all the things.
I guess the question is, how many of these are we going to see scrubbed the next few years, right? I don't. Do they know? Did you just alert Darden that quote still exists? And now that they're listening, are they going to get rid of
They're
it? Right?
now gonna go.
That's what I'm doing.
Yeah, that's what
Scrub
I'm
it.
worried
doing.
about.
But actually, the worst one to me was Joy Brown, who is a black woman who took McKinsey's Academy Black Executive Leadership Program.
Okay.
It's on her like licenses and credentials on LinkedIn. She's also on the Huron Consulting Board, and Huron has a whole program called I Matter that they have a Black Alliance, disability advocates, Latinx
Wow.
group, a Jewish
Wow.
group, a Pan-Asian group,
sounds
a
very
pride group,
DEI.
a veterans group, and a women's
Wait,
alliance.
Joy Brown is on the Tractor Supply board.
She's on the Tractor
What is-
Supply board.
What's wrong with these people? I don't understand.
So look, we don't know if it was like a.
They didn't
don't
listen to her.
Yeah, they didn't say it was like a unanimous board decision to do
Yeah,
this,
but-
right?
but
So
to
she
your
might have
point,
been a
Matt,
dissenting voice.
all these directors are attached to
Step
other boards
down.
that have these policies in place. I mean, what are you doing? Why aren't you fighting for this? I just don't understand it, honestly.
And by the way, just so we're clear, black farmers. This was a headline: Black farmers not happy.
No.
After Tractor Supply ditches DEI efforts, so they're not actually happy.
Yeah, they're actually trying to get rid of the CEO of Tractor Supply.
Yeah, they're trying to get the CEO to step down. Hal Lawton can step
Not gonna
down
happen.
onto the Sealed Air board where he can kill their DEI programs.
All right, so
All
who's
right.
the asshole there? The
The
directors?
asshole is the directors at these companies.
Because you're worried
who
about
are
future
approving it.
assholery by getting rid of DEI programs at other boards, is what you're saying.
Basically, this is a cascading effect.
Good
What we know,
disease.
all right, so the research shows, there's a paper about this. What we know is that board behavior is viral, meaning if you go on one board and say they have a financial statement that looks like it might need to be restated, it's like in that gray zone, and they decide not to restate it. We know if there's no repercussion for that, meaning they don't lose their job, the stock doesn't tank, the CEO doesn't get fired, all that kind of stuff, then they are more likely to take that behavior to their next board.
You know
the
what?
next time that situation comes up, they say, I saw this before, this is how we dealt with it. That's the good way to deal with it.
You know what I'm thinking? There should be some kind of Kyrie Irving effect in these boardrooms, meaning that Kyrie Irving is a player. He used to be on the Boston Celtics. He said some stupid things that people in Boston don't like. Every time he comes back to Boston, they boo him, right?
Yeah, that's correct.
Vociferously.
Amen.
What I think is that when these directors from Tractor Supply, Deere, when they show up at the other boards, they should just be booed loudly the whole time, right? Why can't we get this going?
Oh, if only.
Because Matt, to your point, before you were saying on another show that the only way to get after the Facebook board, because you can't vote them out as shareholders because Mark Zuckerberg controls the voting power, vote them out everywhere. Vote anywhere they sit, get rid of them. So I like this.
This may be a call, not a call to Darden to kill their DEI program because they just realized that that's on the website, but a call to investors to kill the Darden board members who killed
your anti-DEI directors.
Yeah. All right, here's your second asshole. Here's the data point. 77% voted for the $45 billion pay package. Yes, the asshole is as ever Elon Musk. Elon Musk's potential $180 million donation to Trump, who hates EVs, is a stunning risk to Tesla. That's the headline.
What's that board meeting going to be like?
They're going to be on ketamine. There's not a board meeting.
Care.
There's just people on ketamine.
JD Vance also hates EVs, right?
That JD Vance actually said he wants to tax rebates for gas cars instead of EVs. That was the latest from JD Vance. Every investor and enabler of this colossal asshole is an asshole. This is ridiculous.
Yeah,
this
ridiculous.
It's
childish. It's very
actually
childish.
cutting against Tesla. You're supporting a person who's actively hurting his own company and alienating his customer base. The headlines suggest that Tesla is the only car company whose EV sales aren't rising in the U.S.
Ooh.
He's alienated half the U.S. market.
Love that.
Well, there were several articles this morning actually about how badly they're tanking in California. Like they're just getting destroyed. No one in California is buying Teslas anymore.
You couldn't drive a Tesla. I saw they're actually on the way out of the office in West Hartford.
You saw a Cybertruck?
A Cybertruck is parked poorly because it doesn't fit in the garage. It's parked poorly in West Hartford, and I immediately thought, what a fucking asshole
You give it
are,
the finger
right?
like they're doing
throw
up here?
your Starbucks at him.
I needed to go to a 7-Eleven to get something to throw
Make it
on there.
sticky.
Giant Slurpee.
Yeah, throw your Danish trash at it.
And here's your last data point, asshole. 22% of the voting power is held by insiders, plus 14% held by PE investor. That's 36%, making it a controlled company. And a second data point, 61% of the voting power held by one college dropout. Microsoft and CrowdStrike outage cripples flights, banks, and markets. And Trump reinstated by Meta on Facebook and Instagram in an effort to allow political expression. The asshole here is your outrage.
Wait.
We are outraged while we're waiting in line for the stupid outage, for IT outage. And we're outraged if you're a liberal, like how can Meta say it's okay for Trump to go back and lie on Facebook and Instagram? Meanwhile, these are controlled companies, you morons. Your outrage is an asshole.
So you're saying you talk about the customers, you talk about the shareholders? Who are you talking about?
No shareholder is outraged by this.
Right.
They all enable it, right? This is basically for the general public, because when you read the story, Trump reinstated by Meta, it implies that Meta is a thing.
As opposed to Mark
Meta is
Zuckerberg.
a guy named Mark. There's not another thing. It's one guy
Mark was
named
like,
Mark.
hey, you can come back.
Yes, that's exactly how it happened.
I tell you
Look at the eyeballs.
we are being run. Our world is now being run by such foolish men, like such foolish juvenile men. Not forget the Elon Musk stuff. Just talk about Mark Zuckerberg for a second. Within the last week, Trump was threatening to put him in prison. And then he reinstates Trump, and now today there are headlines that he's calling Trump a badass for looking cool after he was shot. I mean,
what?
They're just
No.
juvenile. This is like middle school at best. Middle school.
my God.
I can't honestly
Help.
believe who we're being run by. Honestly,
So this is who we've handed the reins
Crazy.
to.
Crazy.
So can your outrage and don't allow dual class companies to exist. Break up the monopolies. Do you know CrowdStrike has 24% of the market share? It's the largest market share for endpoint security. And Mark by himself controls 75% of the social media market. As much as they want to say TikTok is like the biggest thing in the universe, Mark Zuckerberg owns 75% of users in social media.
That's
period.
And think about what I said at the top of the show too: is that shareholders at CrowdStrike can't even claw back his. They don't even have a say on his pay every year. It's every 3 years. So for this horrible performance and behavior right now that's happening, they won't be able to vote on his pay package again until 2027
Yeah. That's a well-structured pay
crazy.
package.
Yeah.
That's
All right, so those are your
terrible.
3 assholes. It is the board members of all the DEI slashing companies. It is every investor and enabler of Musk and his
I feel like you do that every week. You say that every week.
Yeah, I know. But it's like there's so much of it.
It's
like,
extra
pathetic.
relevant this week.
and then your outrage. Your outrage is
mine?
an asshole.
Yeah.
All of
It's
them.
collective
$180
outrage.
million more relevant this week. Okay, Damon, you go first.
I go
What's your
first?
pick?
Yep. I'm really stuck on the first one, actually, because I don't think there's enough attention paid to sort of there's a very simple idea you're laying out here, Matt, which is like, let's trace it back to who's actually making these decisions. And instead of just being like generically pissed off that Tractor Supply is doing this, why don't we actually like focus on the individuals who made this decision, right? And so I like this. I mean, know who the board members are, know where else they are, maybe preemptively strike, like don't let them take away
Right.
DEI everywhere they're sitting. I don't know. I like that one.
If
it
you
resonates
put a
with me.
spotlight on it, maybe other companies can go in the defense.
Instead of
or
just like
shareholders can
constantly
go in the
playing
defense.
dumb and thinking that like, it's just
I
a
can't
corporate
believe
entity
this
that doesn't have
happened.
people involved that make decisions. It's just Target. We don't know what Target does. Like there actually are people involved with making decisions at these companies, believe it or not.
So that's a vote for number 1.
I am going to vote again for the story of the week and the potential $1 million.
Ooh, 100. You're just trying to get the win. That's what you're trying to do.
All right. So it's a tie. Chantal, what do you got?
As much as I want to go for number 3, because I feel like our outrage is actually outrage at Zuckerberg, who, like Elon, is kind of just sucking up to Trump right now to kind of cover his ass. I feel like I'm going to join Ari on number 2 because that one,
Yeah.
it's
That
just
is
so
the biggest
insane.
asshole move of this week.
Just-
possibly the year.
Yeah, I mean, I think it needs to be voted for one of our segments. Because
There's no rule. What are you talking about?
But it was only a month ago that the shareholders approved giving this moron more money, and almost immediately it's being funneled.
That's what he's
The
spending.
guy
it
who
on,
runs
yeah.
an electric vehicle company is funneling his money to a guy who not only is an abhorrent, misogynistic, racist rapist. I mean, I'm sorry, but he's legally a rapist. But he's also anti-electric vehicles. The whole thing makes your head spin. It's crazy.
Yeah,
It's
that's
crazy.
bananas.
All right. Well, that's the winner. This show is going into its 11th
Getting
hour,
a little
so
too heated up
let's
here.
get into headline-iest
Riled up.
before
Let's go.
I
Quick succession here.
So I picked 3 so that Ari could take one of mine.
Oh.
I didn't think
I
I
have
warned
one.
Chantal about this
Ari.
either. So
So Chantal, you can read my 3 and choose which headline resonates most with you, and go with that.
That's
All right,
confusing.
Damien, you start.
my headline is actually back to Tesla, but a humorous one. Tesla factory manager tells workers to please stop stealing coffee mugs.
How does this happen?
This is in-
I love it.
This is in
Are they
Germany.
being auctioned on eBay or something?
Yeah.
Where reportedly, despite the fact they have only 12,000 employees, the Tesla's plant manager has bought 65,000 coffee mugs over, and that the workers
Is
just
that a real
keep
number?
stealing them. Yes, this is an actual quote from Tesla plant manager Andre Thierry in Germany. I guess the employees just keep walking away with the coffee mug, which I love.
I like
support. I support 1,000%.
Yeah, leave them
my
on the
God.
Danish streets.
That's
Well,
mine.
I got Donald Trump is considering Jamie Dimon for Treasury Secretary after a Love Fest CEO meeting.
Oh, I
Hey,
don't
why?
like that.
That's
But you
not-
just picked it for Love Fest.
That's not
Yes, I
humorous.
did.
I don't like that one.
I like Love Fest, and I like that you guys talk about Jamie Dimon all the time. I was like, oh, I know that guy.
You
Jamie
shit.
Dimon, Chase dude, right?
You work at a corporate governance company.
Correct.
You're the data queen.
He could be your Treasury Secretary.
I know
one
that
day.
guy. Chantal, do any resonate with you, or do you want to skip this?
The first one is pretty crazy.
What is it?
All right. What's the first one?
Researchers call for child-safe AI after Alexa tells little girl to stick penny in wall socket.
Yeah.
That's not humorous.
It's a little humorous. Hey, little girl, just put the penny in the socket.
Maybe since it's like
Do
basically,
it. You won't.
it's basically like a cashless society now. Maybe Alexa's thinking she won't be able to find a penny,
Oh,
right?
clever,
Yeah.
Alexa. All right, I was split between two then.
Go ahead.
I'm going to give you both of them. First is NASA praises Boeing's stranded Starliner for managing not to explode
Yeah,
while
I like
docked
that.
at
I
space
like that.
station.
That's worthwhile praise.
That's good praise. And the second one is the world's top HR association cuts equity from its diversity program amid DEI
I don't like that.
backlash.
That's bad.
I love that.
That's in the wrong category.
That's the most honest thing these companies could do. They could just say, we'll hire anybody, right? Like, we don't care about that. That's not been the problem. The problem is you keep asking for equal pay and like a seat at the table. We're not comfortable with that. So just cut the equity from DE and I and
You're
make it
still
diversity
welcome
and inclusion.
at a lower rate.
We vote on these, don't we?
Yeah, we don't. We don't really have to. This is a made-up game, Matt.
No, well, the coffee mugs win.
It has to be the
anyway.
coffee.
Oh, that's
It has to be the
true.
coffee.
I mean,
mug.
And I
that's
love
the-
that quote.
That's a great.
It's the
We've bought
repetition of
65,000 coffee mugs since we started production here. 65,000. Statistically speaking, each of you has 5 IKEA coffee cups at home. That's amazing.
and the
Damien
repetition
would
of,
have 10.
of please in the headlines what got me. Please stop stealing coffee mugs.
This, All
right.
I
great.
like that.
That's true.
All right, let's wrap this up with winners and predictions.
Wow. It's pretty empty, huh? Damien, you have a winner.
I have a winner. Unfortunately.
it?
Well, it's either white Silicon Valley tech bro incel types, like the whole
Okay, don't like that winner.
all the people piling into the Trump parade, or Miles Satterwhite, Ari's child that turned
Yes.
1 year old yesterday, right?
He did.
That's a winner. It's a winning moment.
I kept a human alive for 1 year. That's crazy.
Wow, actually, that's worth.
Maybe he's a
worth
loser,
some
I don't know.
applause. There we go.
Maybe
Congrats.
he'll be a loser.
Ari did it.
A white tech for a loser.
Yeah, my winner was literally no one. Actually,
Yeah. It was a rough week.
And I wrote maybe Miles, who turned 1, but he's got to grow up in this world. So you've kept him alive
Oof.
for the first year, but every other year is looking worse and worse. So it's
not over yet.
Literally
No big
nobody
deal.
Nobody's
wins.
won the election yet.
You're honorary Gen Z.
No, Gen X was cynical way before Gen Z existed. We cornered that market.
Unfortunately,
Chantal, Ari, do you have winners or no?
Oh, I got a prediction. I don't have a
Yeah,
winner.
go for
All right.
prediction. Go into
Go
it.
do your prediction.
Let's go. I predict
Yeah.
that Damien is going to travel to Copenhagen,
That
get
sounds nice.
addicted to the free stuff, and picking up litter that he will not come back.
That is correct.
Well,
that is not a prediction.
Do you
He
think
is
if I
gonna
picked up
move
enough
there.
stuff, they'd give me like a hotel room? Because that's what I'm looking for.
Try it out.
Because I probably
I'm
wouldn't. And you're
interested.
right. I wouldn't come back if that were the case.
Damien, what's your prediction?
Well, my prediction is that next week is going to be better, right? Because it has to be. I mean that the convention's
No,
over.
Biden's stepping down this weekend.
Okay. Well,
Ooh.
I just think that I'm
That's
really.
not a prediction. That's happening.
It's weird for me
After
to be.
he just said campaign trail is back on.
Yeah, unfortunately,
Nice.
I did see
Stepping
that
down.
headline. I just think it can't get worse. I think this is like the peak worse. And again, the election hasn't happened yet, so stop
The
complaining.
lowest
So it's
valley.
not
Do
peak
something.
worse.
Get involved. Like call people. I don't know. Don't just complain about it. The other thing, my prediction is Crowdstrike chair Gerhard Watzinger, who I referenced earlier, is going to be let go. He's the sacrificial lamb. They're going to fire
Oh,
him.
no, nobody's getting let
All
go.
right, hey, that's my prediction.
No.
Don't-
Chantal, do you have any on-the-spot predictions?
No, not right now.
What,
No
I want to
on-the-spot
hear,
predictions.
Chantal, what is your prediction about Biden? What do you think is going to happen, honestly? Will he step
I
down?
think that he is going to step down.
Okay.
I'm not
Yep.
sure when, but I think it's going to happen.
And will he take my brilliant idea, which is not only step down from running, but he will step down from the presidency, thereby creating the first female
Wow.
president ever, thereby ensuring that Trump is running against the current president, Kamala Harris, giving her an incredible amount of juice. Do you think that'll happen? That's my pipe dream.
I'm actually not sure about that happening.
Oh,
I'm
too
more
bad.
convinced that's going to be someone like Whittinger or Newsom. So
Oh,
getting
whoa.
Michigan or California involved.
I don't like that at all.
All right, well, I'll finish this epic show with I'm predicting a future asshole of the week.
Okay.
The most likely DEI killer company is Corteva Agriscience, which currently has 9 DEI resource groups at the company and goals of inclusion, but also has both Greg Page and Mike Johans of the Deer board on their board.
Is that right?
Get them, boys.
I
And they're
like
called
this
they're called
one.
agri-science. That does sound very anti-DEI.
Oh, man. Well, I was torn between that and there was a potato company that has DEI stuff. That,
Potato.
Yeah, right.
I'll go for potato.
Don't do it, Corteva. Don't do it.
That's it. That's our show. Big thanks to intern Chantal for joining us this week. She might be joining us a couple more times this summer. And that's Hazelnut Rawlis and Ari the Data Queen. I'm your analyst, Matt Muscardi. We are Free Float. We will be back next week with the normal slate of nonsense that no one wants to hear. Until then, goodbye.